Let's shift some gears now. Talk some LeBron James. He joined Richard Jefferson's podcast recently. Let's just say this episode of the podcast is the gift that keeps on giving. Tonight's the first night of Hanukkah, guys. Guess what my daughters are getting? The gift that keeps on giving. On this episode, LeBron was asked about being compared to some former greats. Take a listen to this.
You know, the conversation is going to always be had, and it's great for debates because they want to compare errors, they want to compare players and who they've seen. The one thing that I know for sure, that I've been a part of two teams that's won the two hardest championships in NBA league history. The 2016 Cavs coming back from 3-1 versus 73-9 team, being down 3-1 versus one of the best teams that ever been assembled.
Two-time MVP.
Two-time MVP. And then what we went through in the bubble. And if you were not in a bubble, you don't quite understand it.
All right, Chris Broussard is back with us again. I mean, is Broussard, is he right? Is LeBron James right?
First of all, I got to give LeBron props. This was a clever, subtle way of saying, I'm the GOAT without saying I'm the GOAT, as he did 4 years ago. So I'll give him props for that. But no, he's not right. Look, and I get the bubble situation. I think it was really hard on LeBron. We know how much of a family man he is. He said he didn't see his kids till he got out of the bubble. That is rough. We know he's a man of routine, as he said on the podcast. That's broken in the bubble. I get it. But I can also point to things that would have made it easier. No travel, no distractions, no hostile crowds to deal with on the road. And as a 35-year-old with 16 to 17 years of experience or wear and tear, really, he got a 4-month break in the season before the playoffs started. So that helped his body. And then the opponent that they faced. I don't blame the Lakers for it, but they faced arguably the worst team to ever reach the NBA Finals. And that was before the Miami Heat lost 2 of their 3 best players, Goran Dragic, who missed 4 of the 6 finals games, and Bam Adebayo, who missed 2 of the 6 finals games. So there's no way this was the hardest finals to win, or one of them. Secondly, Golden State. If you want to say it's the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history, absolutely. If you want to say it's one of the most epic finals, absolutely. But I can't give you credit for being down 3-1. That Golden State team that won 73 games was not unbeatable, obviously, but they were down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City choked. That's the only reason Golden State even got to those finals. So being down 3-1 to that team, I can't give you credit for that, especially when, if you look on paper, I got LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, and I got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. I kind of like this trio over here with LeBron, the best player in the world. So the talent was very close. You didn't need to be down 3-1. So it was a great comeback, but I can't say it was definitively the greatest finals win or hardest finals win in history.
Okay, Chris, look, I may contradict myself right here, so stay with me. And I'm going to focus just on this last title. I think it's both, right? Now, I think it could potentially be the easiest title for LeBron, and I think I said this when they were in the bubble and we were covering the bubble. Yep. And the reason why I said that is because in this moment right now, it comes down to leadership. So let's go to the NFL really quick. You got the Seattle Seahawks, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chiefs. The reason why the Saints, the reason why these teams are playing well is because of leadership. You have so many different protocols that messes up your routine. You got to be able to pivot every single day. You got to be able to lead young guys in the locker room. And when you look at the NBA, who is more equipped and capable than LeBron James and the Lakers? So for that reason, I thought that they were in a perfect position. They had the edge going into the bubble because of LeBron James. So I felt like this could potentially be his easiest title ever. Now, Why is it hard? Why is it also the toughest? Because routine is everything. We're talking about this guy playing at a high level at age 36. You don't play at a high level this long and consistently without taking care of yourself and having amazing routine in place. I look at my routine. LeBron James is on record saying he spends over $1 million on his body. It took me 45 minutes just to prepare myself to get in bed at night. Why? Because I had to have my late night snack, 2 scoops of protein, around 50 grams of protein. I would take that. And then I will also hook up electrolytes to my body, art therapy.
I'm taking notes.
So I would have all this STEM stuff set up on my body. I will also sleep in an infrared bed, heat set at 100 degrees. And I'm also switching in the middle of the night to aqua pants where it was everything from the waist down was ice. I say all to say this. As a high-performing athlete, you have to have a routine in place. You have to take care of yourself. MAT, ART, chiropractors, massage therapy. There's so many gurus that you work with day in and day out, not just to get to the next game, but to get to the next practice. So for me, I'm probably contradicting myself, but on one end, because of LeBron James and his leadership ability and how he's able to evolve and pivot and just focus on the mission at hand, it was the easiest. And then on the other side, Kevin, it was the toughest because of the disruption in routine and being in that bubble.
That's a lot of prep. Poor Jimmy Butler only brought that one little suitcase that he had to pack himself on the commercial in his cowboy boots. He didn't have any of the infrared, 100-degree bath. Okay, so Nick, the question is this. Does this matter? Does this matter at all? Do you give credence to how hard the level of difficulty of your championship should matter in the GOAT debate? Because, Broussard, you did a good job mentioning it. After they beat the Warriors, he did the little conversation, and he was like, you know what? That right there, that made me the greatest of all time. And everybody got early cuts of The Last Dance, and it was the Jordan, like, what? So do you think that level of difficulty matters?
Put the bubble in a bubble. LeBron says if you weren't there, you don't get it. I wasn't there. I don't get it. I agree with Broussard as far as like the opponent in the finals. It was a atypically weak opponent in the finals. So set that one aside. And you guys are trying to denigrate the 3-1 comeback. Okay, let's pretend it wasn't a 3-1 comeback. I'll clean it up for LeBron. I beat the best team to ever be beaten in a finals. It's true. And how'd we beat them? Well, I went 41-16-7. Then I went 41-8-11. Then I went 29-11-11 with the best defensive play in the history of the league, and the free throw to ice the game. So whether it was 3-1, 1-3, 2-2, 0-4, don't matter. The best team to ever be beaten in a finals, I beat them. But here's what he's really saying, Broussard, and this is undeniable. LeBron's got 3 rings where in the finals, he beat a team that was far better than any team Jordan ever beat. Best team Jordan ever beat in the finals is 96 Sonics. It's a really, really, really good team. Don't hold a candle to the Thunder with KD, Russ, and Harden. Don't hold a candle to the 4 Hall of Famer San Antonio Spurs. And certainly don't hold a candle to a team that evidently was just right for the picking, the 73-9 Warriors with a unanimous league MVP as the defending champions. And if we want to take it further, Broussard, if you look at the 16 LeBron and MJ finals appearances, and we ranked all of the opponents, the 7 hardest belong to LeBron James. That's the point he's making, and he's right about it. So 3-1, not 3-1, bubble, no bubble. Throw that title out. He didn't need it. He was already the GOAT. But that is, I think even Chris Broussard, who when he's not a Clippers fan is a Michael Jordan fan, would agree with that. The hardest finals opponents are all on LeBron's side of the ledger.
I would not agree with that. And I'm also a LeBron James fan, but that is just patently false. Just because the Nick Wright Tears Committee says so doesn't make it true. You just totally, that young Oklahoma City team where Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden were babies, That team was better than
they
any
were in the
opponent
conference finals
Jordan
the last
beat in
year.
the finals.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No,
yes.
there's no
yes,
way.
I am serious.
You are overlooking the Utah Jazz, who beat great teams in the West to get to the finals. That's not how you measure a team. You don't just say, oh, they got this many Hall of Famers. They got that many Hall of Famers.
How about wins?
How did they work together?
They had
how did the chemistry
wins.
come together?
Those Jazz teams,
wins
64
can depend
wins. That's
on
good.
the weakness of the league at that time. I mean, seriously, look, in San Antonio, Tim Duncan was well past his prime.
He
when
was
the Miami
first team All-NBA.
San Antonio in the finals.
Wrong. Look it up.
He was
wrong.
well past
he was first
his prime
team
at that point.
His first team All-NBA.
And Kawhi Leonard
He's the top
was a
5 player
babe.
in the league.
Stop it.
Correct.
Stop.
Oh, I agree. Kawhi wasn't that good.
There's no
I
way
agree.
he was in his
Now
prime
that's a
that
good
year.
take. I agree. Kawhi was not that good. All right. By the way, because America demands
actually
Broussard, I've got something for you. You go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nick, one of the finals that I would say was one of the hardest, if you want to go that route, it was also against LeBron. And that was the 2011 Dallas Mavericks with one great player in his prime, Dirk Nowitzki, beating 3 of the best players in the world,
That is
3
correct.
future Hall of Famers. That, I mean, so
Broussard, I got
we
something
can look
for
at
you.
this many ways,
I got something
brother.
for you.
But how do you?
Hold on, Bruce.